Isn't that a thing of beauty? Springfield 1911 in a Bianchi holster. It is good looking. This is my Springfield 1911 A1 right here. Cocked and locked, it is empty. This is the first handgun I ever bought, first pistol I ever bought. I bought it up in Benson's in Coram. I shot one when I was about 14 years old and loved it, and I knew a 1911 was the first pistol I wanted to buy, first handgun I wanted to buy. I had another hand-me-down, but this was the first one I bought. I bought it used. It's got a bunch of scratches on it. It's got the idiot scratch on there from the takedown piece, and it's got a bunch of handling marks. It was fired. I forget what I paid for it. It was either $500 or $600 I paid for it. They told me it has the adjustable sights on it. They told me at Benson's it was an Olympic pistol, and it had Olympic grips on there with the guy with a baseball cap shooting it, and you know, plenty of handling marks. But it was a good price. It was sitting next to Kimbers for about $1,000 a piece, Colts for $1,000 a piece, and this gun was it might have been $600. And so I'm like, you know, it had some handling marks, but I knew it's an all-steel gun. It's stainless steel. It was cheaper than everything else, except for the Remington R1s. Those I was attracted to also, but I kind of wanted a Springfield, a Colt, or a Kimber for my first gun, for my first 1911. So I ended up buying this one right here, and it is. I like it a lot, but it's a good story about this gun. When I originally bought the gun, I shot it and I didn't really know what to expect from a 1911, and then I got another Sig Sauer 9mm pistol with a short 2.9-inch barrel, and I realized this thing it wouldn't run through a box of 50 bullets without stovepiping. It was horrible. Sometimes it stovepiped twice on a box of 50 bullets. It was absolutely terrible, and I realized it wasn't that accurate, and it just, after shooting it for a while and then shooting some other pistols, I realized that this thing was just terrible. It wouldn't run, and it was just stovepiping all the time. It was jamming. It was destroying the brass. Actually looked like a rat chute on all the brass. And it was terribly inaccurate. And I ended up shooting my little 2.9-inch barrel gun better than this full-size 5-inch government model 1911. And so I started thinking about selling it, and I was really disappointed with it as I looked at other guns, and I ended up went up to Cabela's in Hartford, Connecticut, and I spoke to the guys up there and thought about buying a new one, and they were just like, Springfield's an excellent company. They're like, send it back. So long story short, I called up Springfield. They gave me a return number. They emailed me a return label, and I sent it to Springfield. I got it back, and they were very nice. One of the guys working on it called me one day, and he was like, the front sight fell off while he was shooting it, and they it got a new bushing. I replaced the barrel, new front sight. What else did they do? New recoil spring. They also polished the feed ramp in the gun. I got the gun back and was really excited to shoot it, and they gave me, you know, bullseye with, I think it was 3 shots, you know, probably, and I want to say a 3 or 4-inch group at 25 yards, and that was with probably, you know, a professional gunsmith. So I was happy to see that, and I got the gun back, and it's a dream now. It hasn't jammed on me once. It's unbelievable. It's like a brand new gun, and it really, it didn't cost me a penny. They paid for shipping, and I gotta really give it credit. I'm really impressed with Springfield as a company. Just unbelievable. Just a great gun company. Springfield, and the guns worked for me great. So today I have a bunch of standard 230 grain ball ammo. Again, we are in New York State, if you see my Glock 19 review. So we only have these 8-rounders loaded up with 7 rounds, but 230 grain ball ammo, and it's cheap stuff. This is Federal Champion. It's not the reloaded stuff, but it's Federal Champion, so it is cheap stuff. And then we got one magazine here of 230 grain Remington UMC jacketed hollow points, and so we're going to shoot some of those off to see, just looking for the feeding functions of this gun. I haven't run hollow points through this yet since I've got it back from Springfield, but you know, I'm hoping it'll run them just fine. So we got 7 here. We'll run those through the gun, and then I also have some Winchester Rangers we're going to load up, just a few of these plus Ps. These are expensive and probably now going for over $1 a bullet, so we're going to go ahead and just and I'll put a few of these in my pocket. We'll shoot 3 of these bugger. We'll shoot 2 of these at the two. Actually, I'll load 3 of them. shoot those at the 2 liters. So I got 3 of them on my pocket. Just about this gun, it's got adjustable target sights on it. I put new grips, the stock Springfield, I believe they're Coca-Cola grips on the gun. It's got a new recoil spring from Springfield, new barrel bushing on there, and that's it. And I don't know what the previous owners from the Olympic, at least that's what I was told from the Olympic shooting team, did with the pistol, but we'll go ahead and give it a few shots. And I had it cocked and locked in here, which is how you carry a 1911. I had the chamber empty, just coming down. I don't need a bullet in the chamber to target practice. So we'll go ahead now, and we will we'll run a couple magazines through it and see how I do. I got some targets set up there, a couple steels, 2 bullseyes on the left, and then a bunch of tiny little, I think those are 4-inch plates, and then 2 2-liters up there. So we'll go ahead, and right now this is a probably good 20 yards, 25 yards from those steel targets. So I might take a couple long shots and, you know, work my way in closer. So let me put my earphones on and we'll get going here. All right, first I'll go for these bullseyes right here and just see what kind of patterns I shoot. And if after I'm done shooting these, if you want to zoom in a little bit, that would be great and see how tight I can get these patterns in here. The holster's still a little tight. It's brand new. I got this holster a couple weeks ago, but I really like it, and I think this gun and this Bianchi holster is just, with these wooden grips on there, just a thing of beauty, and I like it a lot. Yeah, it looks like I'm tightening them up a second time around. So I shoot a lot of different pistols, so it looks like that first magazine was pretty ugly. But I'm tightening them back up again, so that looks better. We'll shoot that last. We'll shoot one more mag on that second target down on the bottom and see how it looks like. That's a lot better. I'm happy with that. So I just need to get warmed up a little bit. Now I'll go for some of these targets around here, some of these gongs and stuff like that. Again, the picks. This is a Federal 230 grain hardball ammunition. Looks like it's feeding good so far. Yeah, you can really see those little targets jump when they get whacked with this 230 grain hardball. Let's go ahead and shoot, these are the Remington UMC 230 grain jacketed hollow points right here. I'm a big fan of UMC, the Remington. It's kind of medium in line ammo. I like it. It's always worked in all my pistols and revolvers fine. I think it's great stuff for you know, the target and the range. I'll go back towards that second target on the right there. It looks like I've pretty much messed up all my other targets. That's an empty mag that fed reliably. Got 2 more mags left. Let me go ahead and load. These are the Winchester Rangers plus P45. This is 230 grain jacketed hollow point ammunition. This is basically the new version of the Talents, and I'm just going to shoot 3 of these. This is almost impossible to get right now, you know, with the ammo shortage, but we'll give it a whirl and see how this 45 digests these buggers. And we'll go for the 2 liters on with these. All right, we got it with 1. Let's go get that last one. I don't have many targets left. All right, I have 1 magazine left. We'll do some rapid fire. What I'm going to try to do is aim right in the middle. All my targets are pretty much destroyed and in the sand right now. So I'll pretty much just shoot right in the middle, and we'll see what kind of a group I can get right in that middle of that sand pile, how tight I can keep them. And from the sand popping up, you should be able to see, you know, what the muzzle flip and the recoil is like on this pistol. That's pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. It looked like they were probably within 10 to 12 inches of each other. But there we go right there. Springfield Armory 1911 A1. Awesome gun. It chewed everything I put through it. It chewed, you know, the 230 grain Remington jacketed hollow point, the UMC, the plus Ps, the Winchester. And I can't say enough about Springfield, and I wasn't a believer at first. I was really upset with this gun, and getting it back now, it's, you know, it's got some handling marks on it, but I mean, wow, the thing runs good. You know, and it's made for right hand. It's got the safety just on one side, you know, for a right-handed person. But it's, you know, a little bit about the history of this gun. It was, you know, invented in 1911 by John Moses Browning. It feels really good in the hand. That was probably one of the things I love about 1911s. Just the way it feels in your hand. It feels unbelievable, very natural to point. This pistol just feels excellent. The single stack is nice. That's probably has a lot to do with it, but the ergonomics of this pistol make it extremely nice to shoot and hold. You know, different from the recoil from a Glock or a polymer pistol, more of a slower rollback in your hand, you know, but it is definitely heavy on the recoil and it does bounce back on you. But very, very cool. I'm a big fan of these things, and as you can see, you know, I start shooting it pretty well. I had trouble with the first 2 liter, but, you know, on that second target, my group's tightened up, you know. But, you know, a lot of it is just, you know, going from the different pistols I shoot, you know, figuring out where, you know, squeezing the trigger. That's what it's all about to me. It's just trigger control and how you squeeze the trigger. But, yeah, I mean, most of these are Kimber mags I'm using out of these things. This one looks to be a Colt. Yeah, that's a Colt magazine right there. But most of my magazines right there are Kimbers. You know, the brass, a lot of people complain, the brass is all kind of centered right here. I'd say it's within about an 8-foot diameter right here, which is kind of throwing it all over the place. But, yeah, very cool gun. I think it's got the short trigger on it. You know, I think that's a regular A1 beaver tail, not the one that curls up. If I had my choice, I might swap these sights off, put Novak sights in there. I really like Novak sights. I think this is a really ugly sight on the gun, even though it's adjustable. And And it looks like I might be shooting to the left a little bit, but that just could be my trigger finger and not the gun itself. But the gun is definitely capable of shooting pretty tight groups, you know, and I did eventually, you know, took a lot of bullets, but I laid waste to all my targets. But big fan of this, and I think you get a lot of gun for the money. I mean, Springfield, I think, believes manufacturers, you get the GI model now for around 600, 650, all the way up to like the range officer and I even forget the name of the other one, the operator or something, and I think those like 900 and 1100. But yeah, awesome gun. And it was, the technology behind this is cool. It's 102 years old right now, but to look at this gun and to see inside of it and see how the thing feeds and how it operates, and basically, I mean, most modern guns now, you know, not to name names, but they're all copied. They all share most of this technology is used in all modern pistols now. It's pretty amazing. You know, the way the barrel locks up, you know, the way it drops down, and you know, goes down onto, you know, the feed ramp gets closer to the magazine, and it's definitely interesting stuff. You know, it's got the ambi safety, you can swap it to the other side, but it's interesting, you know, especially taking apart this gun, you know, and this is 90%, 97% of the original one, compared to these new guns. But it's very cool. I'm a big fan, and I can't say enough about their customer service. Fantastic customer service from Springfield. And as you see, I mean, look, a lot of people complain about 1911s not digesting stuff, and it's not a lot of rounds, but you know, that was probably, let's see, 7 magazines, 7 rounds each. It was 49 rounds, different stuff, and gun cycled all of it, not a problem. And yeah, any questions, just post them below, but that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for watching, guys.